Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at a new Armaf, and it's Armaf's The Lions Club Monarque. All right, so the Lions Club Monarque is from the House of Armaf. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this bad boy up for around $35 at discounters. Link's gonna be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also some coupon codes, save yourself a few bucks at a variety of different discounters if you decide you want to shop with them. So we have ourselves a new Armaf in the Lions Club series. I believe there's 3 of these, and we have Monarque today. And presentation on this, pretty nice presentation. So the initial presentation, pretty straightforward, kind of little cover jacket that goes on this, and there is a little write-up that they come in here, a nice little sonnet about the fragrance. But the box presentation on this is quite nice, pretty plain back, but it does have the front there with a little window showing us the initial presentation of the bottle there that does open up like so, revealing our fragrance bottle sitting on the inside there. So box presentation on this, pretty nice. And the bottle, true Armaf fashion, is quite the bottle presentation. Nice kind of thick metallic style of bottle. Definitely a fingerprint magnet for sure. Has this kind of leathery strap on the top with this little kind of magnetic buckle with the lion's head right there that comes off like so. And it kind of sits like that. So not a huge fan of this kind of buckle strap. It doesn't get in the way, but it kind of gets in the way. And the atomizer on this bad boy is quite nice. Nice long sprays on this, good wide puffs. Absolutely get the job done. So overall, for 35 bucks, the presentation on this is Armaf at their finest. So if you were wondering what Armaf's The Lions Club Monarque smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are cinnamon, cardamom, orange flower, bergamot, elemi, vanilla, praline, candied almond, ambroxan, gaiac wood, musk, and some tonka beans. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you get those spices coming through, nice warm spicy cinnamon, this nice kind of sweet aromatic fresh spicy cardamom mixing in with this nice vanilla accord and this orange blossom flower that comes through. Really adds kind of a nice kind of floral soft touch to it that really mixes in well with that vanilla. So it has that kind of soft edge to it, gives it a bit of a creaminess coming through, and it mixes in with those spices really well, giving it kind of a nice spice vanilla sort of accord going on to it. Little touch of that elemi adds a bit of a waxy texture to it, an additional spice, but it's not a very strong elemi that comes through, just kind of a little kiss of that elemi. And you do get some of that candied almond coming up from the base, adding through that additional sweetness, mixing in with that vanilla. Very similar to the Parfums de Marly's Althea, but just a little bit of a twist going on with that. As you get towards the mid, this kind of opens up and you get more of those gourmandy chords coming through. So you get that praline pushes forward more, that candied almond comes forward a little bit more, mixing in with that vanilla. You get that tonka bead coming up as well. Adds a bit of a woody vanillic sweetness to it. So you get a little bit of texture coming in, and that gaiac wood works with that tonka bean as well, forming a bit of a richer, deeper style of woody base going onto it. Not an overly smoky or dark style of gaiac wood, but it's definitely kind of a woody foundation with a bit of an added richness to it for that vanilla, those kind of gourmandy accords, and those spices to sit on. And overall, it's just an absolutely beautiful interpretation of that Parfums de Marly's Althea. The ambroxan in this just more or less kind of ties everything together, kind of just gives everything a bit of a push, if you will. Now, I know people are already in the comments probably wondering how this compares to the Fragrance World's French Avenue Liquid Brun. Very similar DNA to this. They are both really good clones of the Parfums de Marly's Althea. The differences I find is that with the Armaf, I find this one a little bit more on the gourmandy side. So this has a little bit more sweetness going on to it, and it's less about those spices that come through. Whereas I find the Liquid Brun has a little bit more of a boldness going on to it. You get more of that elemi and that gaiac wood coming through, adding kind of more of a spice going on to it, a little bit of a darkness and a richness that comes through in comparison to the Armaf, which I find a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter in comparison. And that's probably the main difference. Now, which one is better really depends on your taste in fragrances. If you're looking for kind of more spice, a little bit more of a boldness going through, you're definitely going to want to check out the Liquid Brun. But if you do like kind of more of the gourmandy, the sweet accords coming through, then the Armaf might be the best choice. But they are very, very similar. Like the differences are negligible. Both really good fragrances, sexy, alluring, has that kind of gourmandy deliciousness going on. So if you're into that type of scent DNA, you might want to check this one out. So when it comes to the performance of Armaf's The Lions Club Monarque, getting really good performance off this. Projection for this, first 2 hours is really solid, well beyond an arm's length, nice sillage, nice scent bubble that forms with this one. Not quite a beast mode projector, but if you go nuts on the sprays, you definitely could fill up the room and start choking people out. So projection on this is great. really solid, but not quite in the beast mode territory. But when it comes to the longevity, I'm getting fantastic longevity off this. I'm getting about 10 hours off my skin, no problem. Get some on my clothing that's lasting well into the next day. And about the 10-hour mark is where it really settles into a skin scent, and it just kind of lingers from that point. So in terms of longevity, this is bordering on beast mode. I might even give this kind of the beast mode certification when it comes to the longevity, but projection is solid, just not kind of a room filling fragrance if you go average on the sprays. So moral of the story is performance on this, pretty happy with. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Armaf's the Lions Club Monarque would be most appropriate. I think this is fairly versatile across the seasons. I think you can get away with this one from the colder weather all the way up into kind of the more mild days. I think this has, it's not a heavy style of fragrance. It does have that sweetness. It does have some of those spices coming through with those woods. So it does fit the bill for those kind of fall and winter cool and cold style of days. But because it has a little bit of a lightness to it, it has a little bit of that freshness coming from that floral touch that's in here, and it's not too heavy on the spice. I think you can get away with this in the springtime, more on kind of a mild spring day. But as soon as you get this into kind of the moderate heat, especially the hot, humid days, this will be a little bit too heavy, a little bit too sweet and spicy for you in those temperatures. So I would stick to kind of the colder to milder days when it comes to the temperatures. And in terms of occasions, also think this is pretty versatile. This can be worn casually, no problem. I think this is a great date night fragrance. Has that sexy, alluring, intoxicating nature to it with that the sweetness that comes through, the spiciness aspect, especially kind of the gourmandy aspect. If your date is into kind of sweeter style of fragrances, they'll definitely enjoy this one. In terms of formal occasions, not the fanciest style of fragrance. There would be other ones I would pick over this one, but you could definitely get away with it. It has a bit of a kind of an elegance going on to it with the way the vanilla comes through and those spices as well. So you could get away with formally, but I think casually and date night is where this one's going to shine. So overall, fairly versatile fragrance across the seasons and occasions. So my overall thoughts on Armaf's the Lions Club Monarque. Great fragrance. They did a really good job on that kind of Parfums de Marly's Authère style of DNA. The quality is definitely there, the performance is definitely there, and I do enjoy that slight twist that they have in this one where it's more focused on those gourmandy aspects of the fragrance when you get that praline, the candied almond, and a really nice kind of silky, smooth, delicious style of vanilla that comes through with just enough of those spices, that nice little floral that white floral kiss around the edges, and that woody foundation. I think it's just an excellent fragrance. And again, when it comes in comparison to the Fragrance World's Liquid Brun, I wouldn't say this one's better, and I wouldn't say Liquid Brun is necessarily better either. I think they are just different in the slightest kind of ways. If you're looking for more of those kind of bold, spicy aspects in comparison to the Armaf, that more of that elemi, more of that Gaiac wood that comes through, the Liquid Brun would be probably your better choice. But if you do enjoy yourself like a nice kind of gourmandy take on that, where the gourmand notes are a little bit more dominant than those spicy aspects, then something like the Armaf would be great for that sort of occasion or that mood that you might be in, if you will. But either way, both great fragrances. I would say the Armaf slightly outperforms the Liquid Brun, but it would be negligible, and they both perform very well. So bang for your buck, you're getting your money's worth either way with either one of those fragrances. So overall, if you're looking for a little bit more of a gourmandy take on that Parfums de Marly's Authère in comparison to some of the other clones out there, you might want to check out this one. That's Armaf's the Lions Club Monarque. And I want to hear from you guys. What's your scent of the day? What are you guys wearing today? Comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.